Good morning, everybody. I will be on camera in just a moment. I forgot to fix my mic before I came on, so I'm a mess today, guys. Per usual. Hopefully everybody's having a great day. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tanya or TitaniumBuilt. You can call me either or. As you guys are coming in, if you could please hit that like button for me. Also, if you appreciate today's case coverage and you want to, subscribe to the channel, we would love to have you. Okay, so I think that we're doing okay now, guys. Alrighty. Also, if wanted to let you guys know, we are doing another giveaway once we hit 5,000 subscribers, which we are getting close to that. We're at a little over 3,100 right now, and we do steadily climb, I feel like, on this channel. So we have that to look forward to. Also, you can join our memberships if you'd like. I dropped the link earlier in the chat, and I'm going to drop it again, just in case. Good morning, everybody. I see we got the usual suspects in here, like per usual, which I love. I love that. Seems like there's a lot of lives going on today. Like, I don't know, a lot of people are watching lives. So also, I have it on members only in the chat, just so that we don't have bots, coming in and ruining our good time. So, lastly, thank you for coming and spending a little bit of your day with me. All of your comments, just you being here, subscribing, liking, all the super chats, everything helps the channel grow, and I really, truly appreciate it. So I want to let you guys know that. And then now we can get into today's business. I was on Twitter and I saw this. I was just going to pull it up. It's nothing really, it's kind of, it has to do with the case, but it's nothing that's like groundbreaking news. But I just wanted to show you because I kind of thought it was a little like, not funny, but kind of funny, because it's ironic that people are still like messing with these people. So today we're going to be talking about the Idaho 4 murders. If you haven't heard about them, let me know in the comments below and I'll give you a little recap. But I think that everybody kind of knows what happened. The suspect is in custody, Bryan Kohberger. We have been discussing him since the 30th. I remember like 10 a.m. on the 30th when we found out that he was arrested. We were doing a live here. So, we've been talking about him for a while, so if you need to get caught up, I can catch you up really quick with a recap, or, you can always watch the rest of the lives. So this was on Ashley Banfield's Twitter. So I guess the Corner Club is still getting phone calls from news outlets, who knows who, really. And they're calling and asking about Bryan Kohberger. They're asking if he had been there, if he was kicked out of the bar the night the girls were there. Just a lot of stuff. So, a lot of stuff. So, I wanted to show you that. And good morning, everybody. Let me say good morning to you guys. Celestina? Oh, I love that name. I said that before, I think. Good morning, Pretty K. And I saw that Sugar and Spice had to go. Oh, she's still here. About to say, oh, you're walking in the door. About to say she had to go to the chiropractor. Oh, I feel like I need to go. Actually, let me write that down. New year, new me. No, I get 15 chiropractor visits a year for like free for my insurance. If I go over, all they have to do is send in a note, or like, and then like a referral or whatever, and they approve it. But my stupid doctor didn't do that. I guess he didn't like me that much. All I do is lay there. Oh, is Isabel here? Hello, is it safe to come out? Oh, that's so cute. It is. It's safe. I don't think they're coming back. Because I was like really rude about it. I was like, yeah. And Vincent was even upset. He really likes you, Isabel. He likes a lot of you guys. But like Isabel's one of the ones that he really does ask about. So he'll be like, I didn't see Isabel in the chat, and so I told him today that you were like from Scotland, and he was like, what? She's not from here. She's not from, the United States. And I was like, no. So I thought that was cute because my boyfriend like is so introverted that he like rarely talk. I've never hear him talk about another person like ever. So he's sweet. He was like wanting to have. Oh, Nicole. So there was just a person in the chat last night that was just not very nice, and we don't know why. Like nobody was even mean to them. They just, I don't know, maybe had a couple drinks. Like everyone's guess is as good as mine. But I went back through and I read the chat, and then I was like really upset. So, yeah, I was just upset. It was just somebody who was in the chat, just like, and it's a normal person that comes in. It's not like a normal person, but they've been in the chat before, and they just asked a question, and Isabel, she really answered very nicely. She really did. Or she was like adding on to the to the context of the question. That person must have not have got that. But instead of just like being cool, oops, sorry if that was loud, I hit the mic. They like flew off the deep end. And so some of your messages, like, so if you're in the chat, that's why I have my iPad here. Because sometimes if you write like a certain message, if you put like a certain word in it, it'll ask me to approve it, to show it or hide it. But last night it wasn't even doing that. Like to some of the messages it wasn't, and it should have been. And so I went back through and read them, and I think they were coming after me too. Like, I think the TitaniumBuilt thing was towards me because like, yeah, I don't know. It was just scary encounter here last night. That was probably like the worst encounter we've had. We never have trolls in this chat, guys. Really. We don't, because I keep it on subscriber only mode, and it just helps. So, but I do want to show you that. So this says, this tweet is from the Corner Club, and it says, this isn't just about random people. This is about ABC, NBC News, CBS News, Fox News, and CNN too. I'm going to say the random people is JLR. The below tweet is in direct response to one of the above stopping by to do a story on something we know not to be true. So to protect someone from another round of doxing, we spoke up. And it says suspect was not and has not been here. No one was removed from the bar the evening of the incident. Stop calling us. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, leave us alone. We're done. We're done with you. I don't even know. It was like you didn't even say anything and it was getting worse. I was like, that person was so random. But so they are a dude's on his way back to Idaho, or he's in Idaho now. Let me see. I think he was picked up at 6 a.m. And you got to think you lose hours. Oh, son of a gun. Hold on a second. Where's he going? Idaho? Okay, hold on. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to talk on my phone really quick. I want to see when he'll get there. I'm asking Vincent what time he'll arrive. Hi, work for Luterworth. I couldn't say that from that. Just decided I couldn't talk, I guess. Guys, what happened to my voice there? I asked Vincent if he could tell me, because we fly to California from here, so same time, Eastern Standard Time, because you end up like losing hours, or you gain them when you go, and then you lose them when you come back. I think it is you gain them and you lose them. I hate flying. I hate time zones. We should all be in the same one, so hopefully he'll answer me quickly. If not, I'll call him. He's at work. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not surprised. SRB said, I'm not surprised they left in the quieter hours to extradite. I'm not either. I think that's probably the best. So he would get there at like 9 a.m. Would that be 9 a.m. our time? Hold on. So if it's 9 a.m. California time, it would be 12 p.m. here that he should get there. I hate flying. I think that sounds right, though. Good morning, Princess Megan Elsa. And if you guys are just now coming into the chat, we are talking about, the Idaho 4 case. Bryan Kohberger was picked up from the jail, and he was, I can show you something else, too. And he was extradited back to Idaho. He is in the process of going to Idaho. I wonder, so it says he was picked up from the jail at 6. I would say his flight went out by 7. That's what I'm going by. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What's this? Someone looks like they're trying to get the flight path or something, or someone just went off, or I guess someone just left from there. I don't know. I don't know who that is. That's probably not true. So he's gone. He's going back to Idaho. So they should be releasing the affidavit soon. I don't know how soon after he gets back that they'll release it. I mean, as far as we know, they could release it as soon as he drops on the ground there. But that I'm not sure. And I'm not sure. I need to figure out how to get that. Yeah, I never thought about tracking the flight either. I wonder what flight he would be on, though. You guys are like so sleuthy about that. I swear someone needs to do a YouTube channel on how to sleuth people. Like, 'cause I'm not the best at it, but I try. And usually Brian Eaton's pretty on it too, with things. So I was looking at his stuff, and then I started printing out some of the other things that are going on. So Moscow police also said, let me see, where am I at? Oh, let me actually show you guys this first. Yeah. So basically, so far, he is on his way back to Idaho from Pennsylvania. I don't know. His hands look really red. He must be holding them really tight or something. You would think, I don't know. I'm just wondering why they have the smallest dude holding him. I'm still wondering that. Because that other guy, this guy right here that everyone's talking about, that I talked about was being so handsome yesterday, Mr. Handsome Guy, he's not even holding on to him. So I just think that's kind of funny. They did that. Someone in my comments said, just show him what a little bitch he is. So that's why they had the smallest guy hold him. I think that was hilarious. I don't know which one of y'all said that, but it was funny. Richie 7G said, are they flying? I heard yesterday they would probably drive. Really? Drive? Oh, I don't know. That would be a lot of money to be paying, paying your employees. If you think about it, I'd fly him out on a private jet. I guess that's expensive too, but you'd think the FBI has a jet. Someone has a jet. Yeah, they have to be flying him. There was to be too many ways for him to escape. Do you know what I mean? I have to stop and pee. Oh, I need to stop and pee. Oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, I gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta stop and do things. I feel like they wouldn't want to do that. But, if it was short mileage, maybe. They should have had a female officer hold him. Oh my gosh, Marilyn, that'd be funny. They should have had me do it. I'd have been good at it. Oh, I think the sun is coming out today. So yeah, it just says Bryan Kohberger is on his way back to Idaho to face murder charges a day after he told a Pennsylvania judge he would not fight extradition. And I think we saw all this yesterday. Kohberger was moved from Monroe County Correctional Facility at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pennsylvania State Police said he will fly back to Idaho, although no one has said if he'd fly back commercial. I would love to be on a plane with him. If it wasn't 9 hours away, I would drive there, but it's too far. He already has a public defender in Idaho. So I guess he's going with a public defender? I mean, I guess until he can find one, you know what I mean? But you think his parents would be working on that? Nonstop. What's he going to do with a public defender? Wow. I mean, no offense to public defenders, but I mean, you need a good legal defense. I mean, I'm not saying I want them to have one, but I want them to have a fair trial so nothing comes back. Do you know what I mean? In like the future, where they're like, oh, well, this wasn't done, or I want it all to be perfect, and I'm sure the families do too. It says Idaho has a death penalty, although the prosecutor has not said if he will seek it. My personal opinion, I don't think that they'll end up giving him the death penalty. Even if they convict him, I think they'll give him life in prison. I don't know why. I think with his age and everything, I don't know. Yeah, I did, Lady Justice. I was getting ready. I was going to go over that next. Yep, it's in my next tab. Yeah, they issued a gag order. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, now we can't talk about nothing? But we're going to find stuff out. Yeah, I have like a little video to show you on that. And then it says, I thought that, oh, I guess TMZ did break this story. Okay. It says TMZ broke the story that Kohberger and his father were arrested. I'm sorry, not arrested. They were stopped twice in Indiana on December 15th by patrol officers for following too close. This on their way home from Washington to Pennsylvania. Kohberger, who was driving, was just given a warning and allowed to proceed. So it looks like both of the tickets were for clearance. Because it says, stop twice for following too close. So when the second cop, because remember we watched that, we watched this on Bryan Eaton, remember, like yesterday. We watched the body cam footage and he was like, yeah, I would give you a ticket, but you've already had a ticket today. Like, I'm just going to give you a warning. Who does that? If you just got stopped for clearance in the same day and you're getting stopped again, I'm pretty sure if I was the officer, I'd be writing you the biggest freaking ticket of your life. You're on a highway and you're riding too close to cars. Like, what's going on there? Let me see. I'm trying to read some of it. So I think the dad went there because he thought it might be dangerous for him to drive alone. Could be, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't contest it too. Former FBI agent said they would fly by private jet. I might have that actually up here too. Because they even did all kinds of stuff. Oh, I'm sure she is. I'm sure Ashley is very upset that they issued one. I was upset. My boyfriend actually watched Banfield last night. I fell asleep. And I'm still tired. I'm like, how am I so tired? So a gag order means that they can't, so they can't talk about the case at all. Let me actually go over to that tab. And we'll watch this really quick. This is going to be, it's going to tell you about like the gag order and everything. Let me actually look up. So a gag order, I'm going to look it up the exact term, but is so like, attorneys, clients, police officers, anybody that is involved in the case, they can't talk about it. Nobody. No more pillow talk with your wife or husband. No more talking at the water cooler. None of it. You are not allowed to discuss the case or anything about the case. Did you guys see my cat? He just was walking back here. Oh, you can't see the ground. Okay. I gotta let him out in a minute because he's over here looking at the door. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so so a gag order, it just says, well, it really didn't give you a good explanation. Just pretty much what I said. It says a judge's order that a case may not be discussed in public. But I still think that we'll be getting a lot of information. And I mean, he's gonna be able to see like what's in, everything. Like he'll get the discovery, and he'll get like, because everybody gets that, like the defense and the prosecutors have it because that's their evidence. So the defense has legally they have access to all of that, so that way they can defend themselves against the evidence at hand. But with a gag order, man, I hate that. So, does that mean they won't release the probable cause affidavit? That's a good question. I think that I heard that they were still going to release it. So, I don't know. That's a good question, but I think that they are. I'll look it up whenever we're doing this. Hi, allegedly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. I haven't seen this yet either, so. Oh, I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit and then turn it up for you guys. That way it doesn't blast your ears.
He and his father left Idaho or Washington and drove to Pennsylvania, what that date was?
No, I don't know the exact date, ma'am.
Approximately, we understand the middle of December, is that correct?
I think that's approximate.
And what about, we had heard reports that they were stopped not once but twice on the highway. Can you elaborate?
I'll defer to his Pennsylvania public defender on that.
All right, so on the drive back from Washington State to Pennsylvania, apparently the defendant, the accused Idaho killer, is in the car with his father, and they get pulled over in Indiana. We've got the body cam footage. Let's take a look at it. There he is, driving the car, part of his 20.
Tell me what you guys think when you see his face. Do you think that he looks pissed? Do you think he looks scared? What do you guys think? I think that he looks like, oh shit, I'm caught. But I've heard other people say that he looks like he's mad, like his eyes look like, and the way he's like scowling, he looks like he's mad, and I'm like, huh. So I thought I'd ask you guys. Let me know in the chat, and I'll be in the chat too.
500-mile road trip back to his home state of Pennsylvania, where just about 2 weeks later, he was arrested for the murders of Ethan, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. Unbelievable. Got stopped twice by police in Indiana. All right, I want to bring in Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter, joining us live tonight outside the courthouse in Moscow, Idaho. Chanley, I understand you've got some breaking news for us tonight. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Vinny, just now the Moscow Police Department issuing a press release and attaching a judge's order issuing a gag order over this entire case, the investigation. In this gag order, the Latah County Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall issued a non-dissemination order regarding the murder case against Bryan Kohberger. This order prohibits any communications by investigators, law enforcement officials, personnel, attorneys, agents of the prosecuting attorney, or defense attorney concerning this case. And they, of course, have a copy of that order that was just filed this evening here in Latah County at the courthouse behind me. So that is big news now. The officials that we've been hearing from, we've been talking to here on Court TV, as well as the Moscow Police Department, who've been so vocal with press releases and press conferences, now will not be communicating about this case, Vinny.
And this is fascinating because on the one hand, we've heard a lot from investigators, what they could tell us during the course of trying to capture a killer. But we're going to have that probable cause affidavit. And I wonder if this will delay the unsealing
Hopefully
of that.
Judge still unseals it, Benny. The judge could decide to keep it under seal. That's always a possibility, and we've seen that previously, but hopefully they do follow through and unseal the affidavit, arrest affidavit, and reveal more details. At least we get some information by way of that.
You think about it, if it does get unsealed and there's a gag order in place where there'll be no I don't know if the judge will allow a response to it by the defense. Otherwise, the defense is not getting anything in front of the public, what their side of the story is, other than pleading not guilty. Interesting development tonight. Chanley, thanks so much for that. What do we know about his connection to Washington State, what he was doing there, what people were saying about him,
I found a picture. I think it's just the way his hand, like, folds. Like, when it's down, like, sitting, like that. I mean, I don't know if you can see. But whenever, you know, like, you're sitting your arm down, how it will have that crease. If that's what you guys are talking about, that's what I think that mark is right there. This is the picture I found. I can't zoom in because my mouse, I don't know. Let me try it on my Mac. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh shoot, my earring just fell out, guys. Hold on, I think I found it. Okay, that was random. I never wear these earrings, and now I know why. Okay. Is it like right here? Is that what you're talking about? Like where like the creases on the hand? That sounds so good, allegedly. I'm like really hungry now. I'm like so hungry now. I wasn't hungry until then. The dark line, yeah, I think that's when, like, you know, when you sit your arm down, I get that crease because I'm like, I have small, like skinny arms. Like, the rest of me could be like skinnier, but my arms are super tiny and his wrists look tiny like mine. I'm thinking that's what that is. He also had 6 to 7 weeks for anything to heal. Like if he got scratched on his face, on his neck, those would be like so like superficial kind of cuts. So where they wouldn't be very deep to where they would kind of, you know, they would go away at a couple weeks tops. If the judge is already limiting info, I doubt any camera will be in the court for this trial. Yeah, I believe that. It's 100% the judge's choice in Idaho, and they are silencing people quick. You're absolutely right, Yoke Tesla. Just throw this out there. Everyone pointing out stuff on pics, I've personally, and not just once, cut my hand and arm and foot on a knife, and no, he does not have cuts on his hands. Yeah, I don't see it. I just see this little bending, like, little... I see that, like, I don't know, next time you're sitting, well, if you're sitting down right now, yeah, do it. I wish I could put the camera down there, but that's what I think it is personally. He does have a crazy look on his face, though. I'll give him that. Crazy. Like, he's like, fudge. And then his dad's a whole nother story. Did you guys see his dad walking into court? I don't know how he saw to walk into court. His mask was like up to his eyeballs. And then he had a hat on. I'm like, how are you even seeing? How are you walking? Maybe it's because I got one eye and I only got one to work with, but I couldn't do it. So I'm going to go back over here and play this, start playing this again. Probably had knife-proof gloves sold on Amazon. You could be absolutely right about that, Maryland. I used to use those for when I would cut fruit at a restaurant I worked at. My dog sounds like she's going to start barking at something. So let's see here. Okay, let's play this. I was reading your comments, sorry. Yeah, I know, I'm really hungry, allegedly.
What he was like as I guess he was a teaching assistant?
Sure, yeah. So about 20 minutes from where I am right now in Moscow, Idaho, across the border into Washington State, we have Washington State University, Vinny, where Kohberger was a graduate student, his first semester as a PhD student in criminology and criminal justice. That is, again, about 9.3 miles from Moscow, Idaho. So just over the border, 20-minute drive to Pullman, Washington, where he resided there. And of course, we know he was picked up in Pennsylvania, which was over 2,500 miles away on the other side of the U.S., where he's going to be extradited, transported back here to this side of the country at some unknown time. So his connection there as a student, he'd only lived there, a few months, but like you mentioned, he was a teaching assistant. He had students that he taught as part of his graduate school program. I believe we do have sound from a student who spoke out about the demeanor of his teacher before and after the murders. Let's watch.
He was pretty strict as far as grading goes. When he came into class, he was very, not super mentally present. He would stand up at the front, look at the ground. He had a lot of like boilerplate responses he would give people rather than, maybe something he had thought up on the spot. It seemed like he would be, he'd come in knowing what he was going to say to like most interactions. And then when he would grade your papers, he would be grading you on what he ended up calling like a higher standard. But what it really felt like to us was he was grading us like he would have graded himself as a PhD student. And so that was just kind of like, we were all annoyed by him. And so I knew his name, I knew like, oh, T.A. Bryan, like he sucks at this. Like he's grading us too harshly. And that was like an annoyance. But obviously beyond that, we just thought he was a little weird and kind of, a bad grader. It would have been about a month before winter break when like the murders happened. And we didn't obviously build our framework for this around that because we had no reason to connect him to that, at the time. But definitely around then, he started grading everybody just 100s, not like you pretty much, if you turned something in, you were getting high marks, and he stopped leaving notes. It was just, he seemed preoccupied is what I would have said at the time. And now obviously he seems like he was probably pretty preoccupied.
Did you guys hear when he said that happened? I didn't catch that part. But like when he said that the grades, so he said that in the beginning when he was there, he was grading them on a, I guess I turned my camera on. He was grading them on a scale, like harsh scale, they're new students and he's grading them like they're PhD students. And then all of a sudden it goes from that to everybody gets 100. You turn in a paper, you get 100. Put it in crayon. That's fine. 100. I don't understand. Unless it was after, that time. After the murders or something, and maybe that's what he was preoccupied with. But I didn't catch the date. And I do feel bad for his parents and his sisters. Oh, well, the one sister was there, but I do feel bad. I feel bad. It's like losing another child. It's like a fifth person. Because the parents are losing a child right now. I mean, as much as he did this, they didn't. Allegedly, he did this,
Of course, his former students aren't the only ones putting some pieces of the puzzle back together, recalling the last several weeks and what they witnessed of Bryan Kohberger, his neighbors there at the apartment. On-campus apartment at WSU. I spoke to several off-camera, on-camera who say that while they were relieved to hear that finally there was an arrest in this case, they're shocked, terrified. Flabbergasted was another word that we kept hearing, that it was someone so close. The alleged killer literally steps away, or the neighbor away. I spoke to the man who lives above Kohberger on the third floor. There's Kohberger's unit 201 in the video. The man above said that he is just, he used the word terrified, Vinny, thinking that an alleged mass murderer lived so close.
And you're at the jail tonight. Do we know, or will we know, when he's going to be brought in? When he's going to arrive and when he'll be appearing in an Idaho courtroom?
I exclusively spoke to the sheriff, Lake County Sheriff, on camera earlier, and he did not know. He expected it to be within a day or two. But he had no communications of that. Of course, that's what he was telling me. But they're preparing now for that process to unfold and how Kohberger will be transported here. There's several airports close by. The closest one in Pullman, Washington, where WSU is. But there's also Lewiston, Spokane, an hour or two away. That depending on the airplane, would be flown here, Vinny, and then the sheriff was waiting to hear if his personnel needed to be the one to pick up Kohberger at the airport, or if the team bringing him over would bring him fully to this jail behind me. And at that point, he would be in his own secluded regular cell, but secluded from general pop but have all the same privileges as an inmate here at the county jail. But we are on standby, media from all over the nation on standby, because we don't know exactly when that will be. And now with this gag order, it's anyone's guess.
And how about the families? How are they doing? I know the Goncalves family has been the most outspoken, the most public of the four families. How are they doing?
Yeah, you know, Vinny, this is a process. I did speak with the attorney representing the Goncalves family because, like you said, they've been so vocal, Kaylee Goncalves' parents, and he presented it to me as though the first chapter has ended, the search for the person responsible, and it's like a new chapter has begun, because they call it really the beginning almost, because they're still investigating this, learning what they can. And he, of course, looking back, felt that the credit to what broke the case open may have been with more of the community than the investigation. Let's watch.
We've originally said from the get-go, the community will solve this case, right? And I think the community did help solve this case. You know, they reached out. The police finally gave information for the community to actually go on, and they were able to, you know, figure things out. You know, it's one of those things. I think the most important thing they could have done was share information with the community, and ask them for help, which they finally started to do. And I think that's probably what broke the case, is that, because friends of friends of friends of friends, who knows, right? Started figuring things out, started looking for the white Hyundai Elantra, you know, started suspecting different people about different things, figuring out timeframes, contacts, things like that. So, I mean, and I'm sure they've got some with the lab, got some more harder evidence, DNA evidence and things along those lines. I'm sure they have that information as well.
The Goncalves family in Coeur d'Alene, about 2 hours from here, but the attorney, Shannon Gray, telling me that a representative from the Goncalves family will be at every Idaho court appearance where Bryan Kohberger is. They're determined to see this through and follow through. And at the same time, while they're invested, they're relieved at this arrest, they still have some empathy and sympathy for Kohberger's family they're expressing as well, Vinny.
Chanley Painter live in Moscow tonight. We'll be following up with you all week long. Thank you so much, Chanley. Appreciate it. Let's bring back in our think tank Renee Hill, Brian Weiss, Rick King with us. Rick, what's the impact of this gag order that Chanley just told us about, the breaking news tonight? A gag order issued, meaning, you know, no one's going to be allowed to talk about this anymore. Advantage anyone?
Advantage prosecution always. And here's the other thing. The openness of the law enforcement during the course of this in the beginning put a lot of information out into the public. And now with the gag order, especially if they don't allow the unsealing of the probable cause affidavit, you're going to have the story that's been put out by law enforcement prior to the arrest, and then that's all you have. So the advantage in this case, definitely, if with this gag order, has to lie in the place of law enforcement.
Well, let me tell you this morning on NBC's Today Show, Jason Labar, the public defender representing the accused killer, explained how his client has reacted to being accused of the quadruple murder. Take a listen.
It is a little out of character, he said. I mean, this is not him. He believes he's going to be exonerated. That's what he believes. Those were his words. So he's really been very easy to talk to, actually, and he's in a calm demeanor, like I stated.
Most defense attorneys, they don't say, like, he said that he is innocent. Normally they're saying he's innocent. Like that, you know what I mean? Like he said, well, he said he's innocent. Yeah, I would want to go back to Idaho too. I think he wants to see what's in the affidavit. That's why I think he wants to go back to Idaho, or Washington. I think he is dying to know what they had, what they got him on, because he doesn't have the internet where he's at right now. He's got like a 6x9 cell that he's in with some walls. So unless he's getting information through the walls, he's not getting information. Or unless he's overhearing guards, which he might be overhearing some things. He's not getting any information
All right,
other than what his lawyer's giving him.
Brian, is that enough to even the playing field there?
You know, Vin, I am not a big fan of gag orders. I've had the privilege of arguing and winning the gag order template in criminal cases here in Texas, in Ray Ashley Page Benton. And what strikes me is that while this order was issued with all due respect to the magistrate judge, my understanding is that there are First Amendment issues, number one, and due process considerations. Before a court can go to DEFCON 1 by issuing a gag order, at least in Texas, you've got to have notice and a hearing and less drastic alternatives to shutting everybody down. And I've never seen any lawyer in my lifetime ever be punished for contempt for violating a gag order, because your typical gag order has more holes than the Iraqi Navy. And I'm telling you, whether it's challenged by the defense or the prosecution or by news agencies, we haven't seen the last of whether or not this gag order can stand on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, you know, Renee Hill, I've been trying to gag Brian Weiss for 20 years now. No success, so I understand that. Renee, what do you think the defense needs to get something out there in public? Because all the talk has been about him. There's been some talk about DNA matches. There's been talk about white Elantras. We got the body cam footage. Guess what he's driving? A white Elantra. I mean, everything is pointing to him right now. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm sure they would like to get something out there in the press, if for nothing else, to have something in the minds of the potential jury pool coming up. But ultimately, the defense is not going to want to try this case in the media. They're going to want to get into the affidavit, see exactly what's there, prepare their defense, and get it ready for the courtroom. But I'm sure that they would like to have something else out there other than what's there right now.
Anyone surprised of the circumstances surrounding how this case is going right now, Rick? The fact that it's not someone necessarily who was inside the circle, and does that provide an opening for the defense that maybe when they get to trial, because I know what defense attorneys like to do, they like to point at this one and that one, and maybe it was this guy, could have been him, maybe that one, you know?
I think at this point, and to steal your phrase, right now he's wrapped in the cloak of that presumption of innocence, and I think that ultimately, yeah, there's going to be. I wonder right now, his DNA's in the house. Who else's DNA's in the house? How many other sets of people that were in that house have they collected DNA from, and why? Because it's his. Was there a party there? Has he been there? There's going to be more information that needs to come out. There has to be something other than that DNA and the fact that he drives an Elantra. So there's got to be more, and it's going to be in that probable cause affidavit. So right now,
I bet it's going to be his phone. I bet his phone was everywhere it shouldn't have been. But we shall see. We shall see. All right.
Okie dokie. So that was that. Let me, I wanted to show you guys something else. I don't know why I just didn't go over. So the Gonzalez family, Kaylee's mom and dad, they've spoken out since the arrest. So I was going to play that for you guys. I saw it this morning. I think it's from, I don't know, a few hours ago, looks like. Have you guys seen this yet? Because I saw it like right when I was getting ready to come on here, I'm pretty sure. So I think it's pretty new. And I'm pretty sure, I know that I keep talking about this officer in the white. But someone get him a haircut or a brush or something. Just bless his soul. Bless him, you know. Okay. I really want to watch this because I saw some of it and then I stopped it. So I'll go ahead and play it for you guys.
All right, now the 28-year-old suspect in the murders of the 4 Idaho college students waived extradition today in Pennsylvania and will be brought right to Moscow, Idaho to face charges Joining us now are the parents of victim Kaylee Gonsalves. Steve and Christy Gonsalves are with us, along with their attorney, Shannon Gray. You know, Steve, I look at you as a father, and I look at your bride next to you, and I've thought this all throughout my life, that there's nothing worse than losing a child. It's taken a long time. First of all, does that give you any peace of mind? Do you want to know details? Where are you in this grieving process? I would imagine that's not something you get over.
Honestly, I feel a little bit lucky knowing that we have somebody and there's a person of interest. Nothing feels worse than having nobody and just nothing but doubt. And 7 weeks of that, or close to 7 weeks of that, was a tremendous amount of pressure on us. And, you know, your children look for you to tell them what's going to happen and how things are going to go. And you can't control anything, and you just sit back and you just wait. And it's very hard to get over.
And Christy, you're a mom. This is your precious, your beautiful daughter, and you will never see her again. I can't imagine all the pain you're going through as a mom.
It's terrible, just as anybody could imagine. It's just like a nightmare that you just never, ever wake up from. There's not a second throughout the day that I don't think about Kaylee and what happened to her. It's sickening.
You know, Steve, it took the law enforcement a while. It looks like they got they went very deep, and they were very creative, and they looked at databases, and they were able to match DNA from a database, which I think was pretty sophisticated investigating on their part. How do you feel the police have handled all of this?
Well, there's a lot of pressure even for them. I think that, you know, it's never fast enough for a father. You're impatient and you want to know everything right then and there, but I feel good. I feel like they've done a tremendous job. I know that they have been working hard. We just had a lot of holidays. These guys were working out of town. I really appreciate all the effort that they gave. I mean, there was times where I was tough on them, but I know these are strong men and women, and I know they can handle just a little bit of pushback, and we are where we want to be, and they've put us there.
Christy, I know for myself, I have 2 kids. If this ever happened to me, I can't put myself in your shoes. You can't really understand unless you go through something like that. What would you like, assuming there's a guilty verdict in this case, the murderer of your daughter, what do you think a just punishment is?
Well, considering that this person went in there that night with the intent to kill and showed no mercy, unprovoked, and killed our daughter, her best friend, and their 2 friends, we are glad that we live in the state of Idaho with the death penalty.
Shannon, we'll give you the last word as the lawyer from the legal side. You know that the evidence that they have, you know more probably than the public. Where do you see it going?
Well, we're looking forward to the probable cause affidavit and seeing what information they have in that affidavit. It won't show the entire case, obviously, but will give us an idea of what hard evidence they have towards the defendant in this case. And we're hopeful that it's strong. And moving forward, you know, we're just the beginning of the criminal justice system. So it's still a long haul from here, but we're hopeful and optimistic.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Steve and Christy, I'm so sorry. And I know I speak for my entire audience when I say that. You're in our prayers. This is a heartbreaking story, and I hope he gets the justice he deserves. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know his name. One of you guys said his name in the chat. He wasn't, yeah, I never watch him either. I never really watch Fox News. I'm usually like a, you know, News Nation kind of person, but I saw that he got that interview with them today, so I wanted to make sure you guys saw it. And then I wanted to show you guys, the last thing I wanted to show you was the interview with his lawyer. I wanted to show you guys this yesterday when we were on, and I couldn't find it. It wasn't, like, I guess, uploaded yet to YouTube, and we were in the middle of the live, I think, whenever it came out, so that's why we didn't get to see it. I'm wondering, though, like, okay, so what time did he say he would get there? 12 o'clock here. So he should be landing there, I would say, in like within the hour, but that's like a super rough guesstimate. So I'm not sure about that. That's only from me flying there. Cause you know, like when like you fly, you like lose hours and then I don't know. It's just, I hate that. Whenever you go there, it's not, or like you gain hours, I think, when you go and then you lose them when you come back or something like that, or vice versa. You think I know? I've been to LA a few times, but I don't know. So let's see here. And then I'm going to come back on live tonight and go over, hopefully the probable cause affidavit will be out. But if not, I want to go over the Moscow Police Department. They put out like a bunch of news releases, and they're not kind of long, but they're kind of like, I don't know. They have some information on them. So I was going to do that later this evening and break it into 2 lives. That way we are not sitting here all day for 1 live. We do 2. Because I think I'm going to try to do 2. I'm trying to do 1 in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon or later in the evening for you guys. I love, Isabel said, I love how everyone thinks his DNA is in the house. Did it not occur to people that his DNA might be on the victims' bodies? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's on the victims' bodies, Isabel. For them to arrest him like that, I feel like it has to be on the body. Unless it's blood, like, you know, splatter on the wall or something. Because if it's a hair fall, like if it's something like hair or some skin, he could be like, hey, I went to a party there. Point blank, period. You know what I mean? So there has to be a lot of something for them. In order for them to go after him that hard, I feel like they have a lot more than we think. And I'm hoping it's in that probable cause affidavit. It should be, a lot of it. I'm just hoping that they still release it, which they should. They should. I don't know if they will. I think during his second floor battle, he left blood on DNA in Xana or Ethan. Yeah, most likely too, because I think that they both fought really hard. I don't know about the girls upstairs. I'm not sure, you know, what it was like up there. But from what we heard from Xana's dad and from what we've heard from, or just what we know about like Ethan being a guy, I feel like he would have fought a little bit, but maybe not. And if he got him, you know, right away. So let's see what his lawyer has to say. Which I don't think his lawyer is very good.
With Jason Labar as the public defender representing Bryan Kohberger at today's hearing. He has visited his client 4 times since his arrest. Mr. Labar, good morning to you. You have a busy day ahead of you. First of all, just quickly, what do you expect to happen today at the hearing?
I expect Bryan to be brought into courtroom 1, and he's likely to sign the extradition paperwork.
And you've visited with him several times. You've made a point to say you have not talked to him or tried to talk to him about the substance of the charges against him. What has his demeanor been like? What has his mood? What have you observed from those multiple interactions in the last few days?
He's being very calm. He's very aware. He understands the proceedings. I did discuss with him what to expect in the upcoming days on his transport, as well as what to expect when he actually returns to Idaho and is likely in front of a magistrate or a judge there.
I recognize you're being careful because you're handling this procedural matter. You're not the person who will be defending him at trial, presumably. But has he reacted to the charges at all? One can imagine being accused of something like this and saying, wait, where did this come from? Why are they coming after me? Have you seen any kind of that behavior from him?
It is a little out of character. He said, I mean, this is not him. He believes he's going to be exonerated. That's what he believes. Those were his words. So he's really been very easy to talk to, actually. And he's in a calm demeanor, like I stated.
What about his family? The mother and father, the sister, they put out a statement. What do they say about the charges against him and how what they make of this in terms of the person that they know?
They don't believe it to be Bryan. They can't believe this. They're obviously shocked. This is certainly completely out of character, the allegations, and really they're just trying to be supportive with the understanding these four families have suffered loss, so that they're sympathetic towards that, and that's why it should remain really private. And they don't want to try this case in the court of public opinion, and without knowing the facts and evidence, as of right now, they don't really want to comment on things.
His father drove him from Washington State at the holidays back to Pennsylvania. I understand that was a plan that had been in the works for some time. They were also stopped by police a couple of times on the way, I think, for minor traffic violations. Do you believe that to be part of this larger investigation, or is that just a random coincidence?
I believe it to be a random coincidence. I don't disbelieve that Bryan and Michael Kohberger would have made that story up. There's no reason. They have been fully cooperative when they did speak with police and authorities. I know there's some reports that there's no actual evidence that they were stopped in Indiana, but Mr. Kohberger, Michael, had definitely said that they were stopped twice in Indiana back to back.
All right, Jason Labar, I know it's a busy day before you. Thank you for being with us this morning. Appreciate it.
Okay, so now we know what he feels like. He's he's very calm. I don't think that I would be very calm if I wasn't guilty of something. I don't even know even if I was guilty of something, I don't think I would be calm. He's got to be like not all the way good up there. Calm demeanor, said it's not him. Okay, well, I'm really hoping that they have like digital, like a digital footprint of him, like his cell phone. I hope that it's literally, like they said, just trailing around town, just going to the crime scene, going to home, maybe going somewhere to dump like the knife, maybe perhaps. I always thought he kept it. Maybe he didn't. I always thought I always thought before we knew who it was that he would be the type to keep it. But maybe he didn't keep the knife. I don't know. Yeah, and of course his parents are going to say they're going to say it's not him. But you're a normal person, yeah. I know, I'm trying to get in that mindset. I just can't get there, I just can't get to that point where, because when yesterday, whenever we were watching him walk into the jail, that's what I was going to tell you guys. It looked like he had like bedhead, like he had been sleeping. Like, like when guys sleep, their hair goes up like that. It looked like that. And I'm like, he's actually getting sleep. He's actually able to sleep. I don't know. It looked like that to me anyway. I went ahead and I looked on Twitter and there's like no new updates yet. So as of right now, he hasn't landed in Washington, I believe they're probably going to take him to. I'm not sure exactly, but hi, Annette. A guy who studies killers keeping the weapon. I doubt it. Yeah, I just figured maybe he would. I thought he would be so narcissistic and just think that he would get away with it, that he could keep it, that it would be like a something for him. And maybe that's what he did. Maybe he did take something from the crime scene, and they found that in his apartment, or maybe he left something at the crime scene. Yeah, yep, gag order to everyone, yep. Yeah, we're not going to be getting a whole lot of stuff, Pineapple Pam, I felt like, for a minute. But we'll get, we'll get when he lands, I'm sure there'll be people there, watching, waiting for him to land, and, whichever airport he'll be landing in. They didn't tell us what airport he'll be landing in. They just said that it could be in Pullman, and I don't know the other location they said. So I'm sure there's news crews at both locations just waiting to see if they can get a glimpse of him. So when that comes through, because it will, I will make sure that I am here to give it to you guys. Give you the footage or whatever. I did do a pre-recorded that just showed the body cam footage the other yesterday. I showed that the body cam footage from December 15th when him and his father were pulled over. It doesn't really show you a whole lot. You can hear the officer kind of talking with him, though, and him and his father. I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic, but it's okay to watch. It's a pretty good watch just to get their demeanor and get what they're saying. So Pretty case that I'm wondering, since the launcher was on surveillance, if they also have him on surveillance too. He could have maybe stopped at that gas station or something like along those lines. And then he pulled out and he was just, I don't know. I don't really know. You never know though. I wonder if I know that his schooling did come into play when he committed these crimes, but I wonder if that's why he picked that field to go into. And if you're just now joining us, before I forget, if you could like the video, that would mean so much to me. We have like 59 people in here, 60 people in here. I'm sure everybody could hit the like button for your girl real quick. I didn't even ask y'all today. I kept forgetting. I kept forgetting to ask you guys to do that. It does send it out in the algorithm, and then more people can enjoy the video and stuff like that. I forget what else I was going to ask you guys. Sounds like my dog's playing with the cat. It's so funny. It's cute. Let me see. And then they did execute, remember, the 30 search warrants also whenever they got him in custody. They searched his car, they've searched his parents' home, and they've searched his, himself. So if he has any wounds on him whatsoever, they're going to be documented when he was in interrogation with the officers in Pennsylvania. That was probably one of the first things they did, was strip him down, take pictures with that when they got that warrant, and just, make sure that they documented every single thing, probably fingernail scrapings they got underneath just to have them, probably his DNA, things like that. So I wonder what his parents thought, though. Like, sorry, mom and dad, it didn't mean, you know what I mean? Like, wow. You're just chilling, Christmas is coming up. You're just chilling at your own home, not doing anything. And the cops, you're sleeping, and the cops blow your windows out, and take your kid into custody for murder. I think I would be freaking out. I really feel bad for his parents. I do feel bad for them. If they didn't know what happened, then I do feel bad. And they did come out and they did release a statement, and that's more than we could say for some other people's parents when they've been in cases like this. So I think that that's really nice that they came out with a statement. And I hope that the dad didn't know what his son did. I don't think that he did. I think there is a just reason why they drove back, but it's just, what is it? I'm just wondering, what is it? And I was wondering if I missed anything, because sometimes I do that. I miss stuff, but I don't think so. So yeah, I'm going to go over, like I said, I'll go over the Moscow website later on today, because they do have some new releases. And for some reason, they still don't text them to me. And then we don't need any of this. I'm just seeing what else. And then there's nothing really on, so I haven't seen him anything to where he's dropped, at the airport yet. So they might have been a little bit, they might have went out a little bit later. I know that, I think I said he left the jail at 6 or something like that. So I thought maybe he would get on the plane around 7. But I'm not sure how far the airport is, but I think it's a smaller town, so it shouldn't be too far away, I wouldn't think. But you never know. But that is all that I have for you guys for now. And I will be back on later tonight to do, to show you guys the affidavit, hopefully. If you guys hear about them coming out with that probable cause affidavit, and for some reason I'm in la land and, I'm not here with the program, if you would like to send it to me or let me know, and if I have to buy it, I'll buy it. That's fine. Just let me know the information. You can send it to my email at TitaniumBuiltBoo@gmail.com. I feel like I need to change that email, but TitaniumBuilt was taken, so. TitaniumBuiltBoo@gmail.com. Also, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter. I do tweet a lot of information out because it's very fast to do. And my Twitter handle is @Titanium_built. And I have a TikTok that's at TitaniumBuilt. What else? Instagram @TitaniumBuilt. All those good things, Don't forget to like the video. I really appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your afternoon with me, or your morning, actually. We're going into the afternoon. And I'll be back on today to do some more updates for you guys. As soon as we find out what's going on, like with him, if anything comes out, I'll make sure that I come on. If it's nothing like big, you know, I'll either do a pre-recorded or I'll just save it for the live. But either way, you know. And then, yep, you're right. He said that he didn't suffer. Yep, he stated in court he didn't suffer from a mental illness and that he was on no medication and things like that. So, oh, you're welcome. You guys are so sweet. So thank you guys again for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I will see you guys all later on today. So if you guys aren't getting alerts, just make sure that you're checking back and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. I think that, let me see. I'm going to see really quick. Let's see how this goes. Because like a lot of times it'll show me, let me see if it'll show me. Maybe it won't. Sometimes it'll show me like how many people are subscribed and stuff. So let's see. I don't know how to do it. Oh man, one second, because sometimes it'll say like so many percent, you know, is subscribed compared to so many other percent. That's what I was trying to look for, but I can't remember how I saw it before. So yeah, just make sure you're subscribing, because I think it says like 70% to like 30% of people, like 30% subscribe and then like 20 or like 70% don't subscribe that watch my videos. And so I'm like, oh, we want to make sure that you're watching them. But I can't seem to find it. I'm still looking though. Oh, here, I think it's here. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so, okay. It says watch time from subscribers, 71% are not subscribed and 28.5% are subscribed. So make sure you're subscribed, all of the good stuff. We want to grow the channel because we want to make sure we hit 5,000 is our next goal. 5,000 subscribers, we are doing a giveaway. Then after that, you know, who knows? And at 5,000 subscribers, I get my TitaniumBuilt sign behind me. So I'm dying for that sign. And all you got to do is subscribe. That's the best part. Okay, guys. So I think that's all that I have for you guys today. I love y'all so much. You guys have a wonderful day. Be kind to each other. All that good stuff, you know. I will see you later on this afternoon. Bye, guys.